recording.
Oh, yes. That is important.
Okay.
Como se uma transmissão ao Viva M.
There we go. There we go.
How does it select which language? I don't. It's weird.
I don't know. But we welcome...
we welcome all languages.
Yes,
We're
we
a truly international podcast.
Yes. Podcast International.
Canada and the U.S.
Yep. And Portugal, according to our outgoing tweet.
All right.
Could be Brazil.
Or Brazil.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah, okay.
What?
Nothing.
Well, they speak Portuguese in Brazil as well.
Isn't it a different dialect of Portuguese? Isn't it
I don't know.
Brazilian Portuguese?
Yes.
I don't know. I've never been there.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Pretty sure you're right.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do I look Brazilian to you?
Doesn't matter. None of them are allowed in your country anyway, so.
That's true.
Yikes.
That's right. Bringing the politics back to the Player One podcast.
Did it ever leave?
No.
Pretty much.
No.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a clap.
Dun,
All right.
dun, dun, dun.
3, 2, 1. That's good stuff.
My God. Ethan
Wait, was that
in, like,
Ethan?
a different time zone with that clap. That was awesome. Good luck editing tonight, Johnston.
That'll be fine. It'll be fine.
This is fine.
Okay.
Everything's fine.
All right. Do you want a second clap?
Like that's gonna help.
No, we don't need a
What
second
would be the
clap.
point?
We're good.
Your first one kind of sounds like a second clap.
Yeah.
Given
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was, actually.
3-minute difference there between our claps.
It's fine. It's hotel Wi-Fi. I get it.
Yep.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's do this thing. Right?
We're here for you, baby.
Excuse me.
Oh, that was
Come
attractive.
on.
Sorry,
man.
And to do it before I'm drinking the fizzy water.
Drinking the fizzy water.
Does to me every
Is that
time.
is that what the kids call it these days? Drinking the fizzy water?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the kids call it.
No.
Hello and welcome to episode 534 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, January 31st, 2017. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from the great country of Canada, Mr. Greg Seward. Hello.
Hello to all of my American friends. Keep fighting the good fight.
Yep, that could. Yep. Mm-hmm. And joining me from the great state of California, Mr. Phil Theobald. Hello.
How's it going, CJ?
It's going well. It's going very well.
In the spirit of our country right now, I've taken my NES Classic and I've wiped off all the games except for Xenophobia. I'm sorry, just Xenophobe.
Oh,
Xenophobe is the name of the game.
right.
Oh God!
So I've been playing a lot of that lately.
Lose so many listeners.
America's game.
But I want to know, for
Baseball.
real, do you have Xenophobe on that machine? Because that game is terrible.
That is a
and if
terrible
you have
game.
that on the machine,
No,
that means
hold
you are
on, hold on.
everything on there.
Hold on a second. That port is terrible.
Okay. Fair.
Yes, the
That's
Lynx
fair.
one is good. The Lynx one is good.
The arcade one, the arcade original, fantastic.
Yep.
The Lynx version, fantastic. The NES version of Xenophobe is awful, but yes, it is on mine. To be fair, though, Ethan, Lethal Weapon's also on here. So.
Oh, really?
Oh
man! All right.
Oh, we have stuff to chat about later, you and I.
Very, very
All
nice.
right.
And joining us from the great state of Texas, Mr.
Yes.
Ethan Einhorn. Hello.
Yes. Hey, how's it going?
She
Just
finally
wrapped
kicked him
up
out.
PAX.
Are you are you really in Texas?
Yeah. So I am really in Texas. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, San Antonio.
I'm gonna test this out. The stars at night are big and bright.
Texas.
You're not.
Oh my God!
Jesus
No,
Christ.
no.
There it is.
Proper
Oh.
answer. The proper answer was deep in the heart of
Deep in
Texas.
the heart of Texas.
That's
I knew what it
a
was. But I
Canadian.
didn't want to indulge you.
A Canadian
Actually,
has to tell you how it's done.
Haven't I mean,
I am right across the street from the Alamo. I am literally across the street from the Alamo. So,
Really?
Can you do a live shot from the basement?
that I can't. No.
Are you trapped there now because airports are shut down across this great nation of ours? Are you getting home?
Hopefully not. We'll find out tomorrow. I'm, not planning to travel until tomorrow, so we'll have to see.
Okay.
all I know is I'm coming to GDC at the end of the month, so I am busy getting together all the URLs for my social media, just in case I get asked
Okay.
to try to get into
good
your
idea.
country. Yeah.
Good idea.
That's a good idea. Hey, so I just wanted to share two little quick hits from PAX South. We had a really good show. We were showing our game Fist of Physics on the HTC Vive, and very interesting to see somebody who was really nicely dressed in cosplay as Spider-Man try to play the game while refusing to take the Spider-Man mask off.
That's
playing
awesome.
VR game.
Amazing.
That's dedication to the craft right there.
And probably way more sanitary than usual. Really, when you think about it.
Actually.
Yeah.
Because those vibes get a little sweaty.
Yes. Oh yeah. But then the super quick heartwarming tale. This was great. There was a 9-year-old girl whose name was Lizzie, and she came in the first day and she played the game and she loved it. And the next day she came back and there was a huge line, and she waited with her parents in the line again and went and got her second try. And the parent said to me, this game was all she could talk about last night. They had gone to a hotel. They were staying from out of town, and she was so excited. And so when she was playing that second time, she beat the third and hardest of the robots that we have in the game.
Oh, wow.
And so I said, let's give a hand to Lizzie. And everybody in line started cheering and hollering her
That's
name.
awesome.
And so she took off the headset and had the biggest smile I've ever seen.
Aw.
So it was a pretty cool thing. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's pretty great.
And that young girl's name? Albert Einstein.
You just said her name was Lizzie.
Right, but I mean, Albert
You're trying to
Einstein is Australian. So
trying to do a Paul
when
Harvey.
when
And
you
this is the rest of the story.
when you bring it when you translate the name from the Australian to the
Oh, right.
the English, you're going to end up.
Yeah, Phil, the story worked really well without all that nonsense.
It
so.
did. It was good.
No, I don't know. I think it needed that little extra punch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we call that the Theobald excess.
Yep.
pretty
Oh,
good.
and again, lest I forget to mention, and I won't name them individually, but I'll say that it was really, really cool to meet in person several of our listeners, and they were all totally awesome, and it was really a highlight of the show.
Nice.
Fantastic. We have the best listeners. They are the best.
We do. Yes.
So speaking of excess,
Yeah.
let's talk Switch pre-orders, because
How many is everyone up to now?
I
Four.
pre-ordered my third Switch on Friday.
Crying out
What?
That's
What?
right.
Oh my God.
loud. Why?
Because I got a text while I was eating lunch from nowinstock.net saying that the Switch with the neon red and blue was now on sale on Amazon. So I was like, oh shit, I definitely want in on that. So I immediately went over and pre-ordered on Amazon the neon red and blue. So that's Switch number 3. However, I did then go in and cancel my Best Buy in-store pickup pre-order for the regular gray Switch. So now I have a gray Switch and a neon red and blue from Amazon.
Nice.
So that's
So are
good.
you planning on keeping both, or?
I will likely keep both.
Really?
Yeah, I'm thinking that I will.
For the kids?
I think so. Yeah.
Or just because you are a fool in his money?
Well, there's all of that.
I
There's
gotta
that too.
call out that I think you're out of your mind to give a 4-year-old their own $300 game console.
Well, to be fair, she's 5, so you're
That
wrong.
really doesn't change my point.
We were playing Mario Kart 8 downstairs right before recording. So
yeah,
Nice.
and that is
There you
completely yep. Okay.
she's into the Nintendo stuff.
Yep.
And I also
seeing
I also pre-ordered, by the way, a Pro controller on Amazon. Those went up last week as well.
Thank you for the heads up on that.
Lucky
by the way.
lucky enough to get one of those. So I think I'm ready to go. I think I'm ready for March 3rd.
Yep, that Pro controller feels fantastic. Also,
Oh yeah, so you were at Pax South. Obviously, you tweeted that you got to try the Switch. Let's hear your report. Let's hear your full report.
Sure. So the first thing I got a chance to try was Mario Kart 8, and I played the battle mode, and I lost badly, but I had a blast doing it, and the screen is gorgeous. It's just really bright and crystal clear, and 720p. So when it's brought down to that size, it really is startlingly beautiful, and just had a great time with that. The game looks just as good, if not better, than it does on the Wii U. If it does have any graphical improvements, I didn't really catch that, but it ran beautifully. It was 60 frames a second, and the machine is a little heavier than I thought it would be. It's very comfortable to hold, though. It feels like a premium device. The neon looks great. It really is striking when you see it in person. And it's really pretty great to be able to play something like a Mario Kart 8 on that small screen and know that you can take it anywhere. It was really, really exciting to do that. The battle mode in the game also is a ton of fun. It's a little jarring at first because the way they had it set up, you had to press forward on the right analog stick to move forward so that you could easily go backwards and, have a better play experience in an arena. That was strange, but it actually worked pretty well. It kind of almost, I think one of the Twisted Metals ended up doing something like that, didn't they, back in the day? But in any event, it was a really good experience. I lost both as Link and as Squid Boy, but had a good time giving it a spin. And then I also had a chance to play the first 20 minutes of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And that was it was everything that I had hoped that it would be. It's really an amazing looking game. It's feels very different to be in an open world when you're playing a Zelda game, and you just have the sense that you can go in any direction and find something different, and you don't have to go along the critical path. And so I was deliberately exploring and not going exactly where I was supposed to, and found a lot of enemies, and was able to pick up elements from the background, like twigs and stuff like that, and use them as weapons, and just had a lot of fun exploring. Didn't want to spoil too much of the actual missions for when I get the machine, but they let you pull the Switch tablet out of its dock to see how that worked, and they already had the Joy-Cons attached. So when you're playing on the television, you were using the Pro Controller, and you put that down and you pulled it out, and instantaneously it appeared on the screen, and you could just keep right on playing. It was very, very impressive. And then you pop it back in, and it takes a couple seconds to cycle, and then it's right back on your television set. So, it just... Oh, go ahead.
Seems like the delay between putting your Switch back into the dock and it showing up on the TV is more because the HDMI signal has to... come through.
It's the handshake or whatever.
It's the handshake, yeah.
Yeah, so it's fine. It's a really, really elegant device. Again, as I said, it feels great. The screen looks great. The Pro Controller is really, really nice. It does reinforce that I'm probably never going to take those Joy-Cons off because it's just easier to keep it on all the time and then pop it in the dock and use the Pro Controller. But here's the one thing I'll say, and I'm glad that they allowed me to try this, but I did attempt to put it both in my jacket pocket to see how that worked.
Immediately tackled by security.
and I tried to put it in my...
And here it is right now.
Yeah. And I tried to put it in my pants pocket.
Of course.
And
This is why
Yeah.
people get dog sick after PAX.
That's right.
Yeah.
We know where.
I know everyone's going to be
Hero was.
touching this and using this controller to play with, but you mind if I shove it in my pants real quick? No,
Well,
sir, go
the-
right
the-
ahead.
yeah.
That's, well, you know, I mean, to be fair, it was the end of a day. It was the end of a long day at a conference. So, you know,
Yeah.
how sweaty could Ethan have been, really?
Exactly.
Well, that's the thing. Not sweaty enough, I felt. So to just make sure that I made my mark, since it didn't fit in those pockets anyway. The third attempt was just to shove it down front of my pants. So
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
You could hear that's
Ethan's like, just let me freak on it for a minute.
So I pulled it out of my pants.
Hold on. Let me just whip this out. And you could hear, the weird thing is, as soon as he did, you could hear the, yeah. Very strange.
So no. For real though, putting it in a pocket or something. I mean, it's comical when you try to do that. It's clearly
of
not
course.
designed for that, to be fair. But it's definitely not something that is pocketable with a large pocket in your jacket or in your pants. So I am looking for solutions. I'm considering at this point maybe putting the Joy-Cons on a keychain and just pocketing the.
I hate you for
tablet.
saying that. There are lots of things I hate you for, Ethan. But when I saw the keychain thing on Facebook earlier this week, this has gotten out of control. I'm sorry.
You know what the
Well,
solution is, Ethan? Here's the solution: messenger bag. A bag.
Or fanny pack.
Ethan's going to be like the janitor at your high school with this giant ring, but instead of just a million keys, it's going to be like
It's all
Vita
Joy-Cons.
and his PSP Go, and just all sorts of Joy-Con variants.
I mean, in reality, what I think it's going to be is it will just be in my bag, which I carry with me most places. And if I have my bag with me, that's going to be what I will choose to play. But it means that my Vita will also still probably stay with me because that is pocketable. And, that means that I will still be using that plenty, which given the soft initial launch library for the Switch anyway, I think that's probably just fine.
But you're buying every game, right? You're going to try to
I
collect
have-
Switch.
Yeah, so I've actually backed down on that a bit.
You've curtailed
So
that. Okay.
I have curtailed that.
Finally had to talk with the wife, didn't you?
Here's
Yeah,
what
so
I'm
there-
worried about. Ethan
Yeah.
Ethan seems to be unable to go 5 minutes without having access to a video game. And I'm worried that this is turning into a situation where you're like the drunk who's now hiding bottles of booze around the house so that you're never more than an arm reach away. Oh, there's one in the tank inside the toilet, and there's
What
one
I
in
would
the
be more
cupboard.
worried about though is if you're not going to if you're going to do like a Joy-Con keychain kind of thing, I'd be worried about losing them or getting wear and tear on those.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean,
I
if I were
purchased
to-
one of those Hori cases for
Yeah.
the Switch, and I might end up picking up the Nintendo made one instead. But it'll be nice just to have, like a separate pocket so that there's not like a lot of bumping up against things in my bag.
Yeah.
To get
Well, no,
wear
I
and
mean,
tear on the
it's like
analog
my-
sticks or the
You
buttons.
don't wear and
or-
tear on your bag, CJ.
It's not a purse, it's a Switch satchel.
It's European.
Yeah, I mean, again, my hope was just like my Vita replaced my phone. I was hoping for gaming. I was hoping that the
the
Switch
Vita
would in turn
replace your
replace my
phone?
Vita.
The Vita replaced your phone.
For
You don't
gaming.
carry a phone
Oh
anymore?
yeah. No, for games.
I know.
Yeah.
So it's not really
So no.
replacing, it's just in
Adding
addition
on.
to- Yeah.
I
Right,
understand.
right.
I can
Yeah.
dig that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course you
And
can.
but again,
I can dig that. The
Yeah,
only
I-
reason that I have my 3DS in my pocket ever is for Street Pass. And now that's not going to
Okay,
be a
yeah.
thing, so I don't even have to worry about that. So when I'm taking a system like the Switch on the go with me, it's going to be in my bag, which is usually with me.
yeah. So
But what-
that should work out just fine.
Okay.
Go
The
ahead.
only thing
Go ahead,
I
Greg.
don't believe.
I just didn't follow CJ's logic there. Why does it have to be in your pocket for Street Passes? Don't they work when the 3DS is in your bag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand where you were
Then
going with that.
it's easy to clear them out. Then I can just take it out of my pocket and clear them.
Was your bag like? Does it have like 3 or 4 locks on it, or?
No, if I put my bag down somewhere or whatever, let's say it's
Yeah.
GDC or something, I want quick access.
The more
Quick access.
the longer I know you guys, the more I realize how different we are.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
The thing I can't believe is that I forgot to put critical path on that bingo card.
I just got a message. I got a text while Ethan was explaining that, and they're like, the person's like, "So are you and Phil secretly laughing because Ethan takes a long time to talk about this, or because you're technically playing Ethan Einhorn bingo?" Because we were both snickering at the same time.
As soon as critical path came up, I saw you were laughing as well. So yeah, I knew. Again, you and me, Greg, we gotta figure it out. You and I.
I'm gonna say, 10 years ago, I did not think that Phil and I were gonna be the two people who had the most in common.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Here we go.
Yeah. This is the first time I bought 2 of a system at launch.
Oh man.
So it's just-
This is the burnout paradise of system launches.
Burnout Paradise. Exactly.
And
The
Greg,
seeds of that were sown with Burnout Paradise.
Greg, just to make you feel better about our special relationship, I canceled my backup order. I only have 1 Switch on order right now.
Attaboy.
From where?
Oh,
Where
man.
keep your
From Amazon.
Okay.
I trust Amazon more than Best Buy.
I
what it
do
comes
as well.
down to.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Plus
So,
mine was an in-store pickup, and I definitely don't trust.
well, your
in-store.
store, my goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really. Well, technically this is pre-order, but it's been 5 minutes since we opened.
Yeah.
So let's just
You can buy
sell
it.
it to
Yeah.
somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
We good with Switch stuff? Is that it on there?
It's, very cool that you got a hands-on, Ethan. That's
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was
I
neat.
heard that line was packed.
The line was packed. However, what was interesting was that the Mario Kart 8 line, which was behind all the other lines, was badly managed. So that one I was able to, without cutting in front of anyone, get in and out in about 30 minutes, which was crazy. The other line that I went in for Zelda, they actually allowed exhibitors to stand in line and start playing an hour earlier before the show started, which was really nice as well. Yeah, and my coworkers well understood that a big feature of PAX for me was this, so they were patient and let me do that and ran the booth while I was away. So
Nice.
great.
How long was the demo for Zelda?
How long was the what?
The
20
demo.
minutes.
Yeah, they gave you
It was
20 minutes. Yeah.
That's pretty nice. That's pretty hefty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of similar to what they did at E3, and I think it's the exact same demo.
Oh,
Pretty
okay.
So
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Actually, what was interesting is that the person showing me the demo was actually pointing out when it started, and this was a Nintendo employee, they said, now you see on the screen how there's some slight pixelation. She said, this is at 900p. She said, but when you pull it out of the dock because the screen's smaller and it's in 720p, all of that aliasing disappears. And so that's just something interesting to think about, is that even though it's
seems
low
like a
resolution,
thing.
it does look crisper.
That seems like a thing that does not need to be said, though. I mean, there are plenty of Xbox One and PS4 games that run at 900p
Yeah.
as well, and nobody's
Oh no, and
getting up in arms about
great. I had no problems with that, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was interesting that Nintendo reps were pointing that out.
She's a spy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Secret Sony plant. All right. Let's talk about some other news, because there's some other stuff that happened in the past week. So Xbox One, they are removing the Snap feature in the next
Because nobody
Xbox
uses
One
it.
update. Yeah, you're right. I mainly only used it for looking at achievements while playing a game, or I guess it worked with Twitch too. That's how you started.
Yeah, that's how the Twitch interface works. So
So I guess they're gonna have to change.
Well, so
that.
the instant image that popped into my head was the exec who was showing us on stage when they debuted the Xbox One, that you could actually check movie times for Star Trek Into the Darkness while watching the original Star Trek reboot on your television set. And he was so excited about the snap feature. I wonder if he's sitting in his office right now, that single tear going down his cheek, you know?
I kind of liked the idea of it, but it never worked the way it never reached any sort of potential. Although I gotta admit, I have watched television using the snap feature.
Oh, yeah?
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I
keep
think
tabs
they-
on like a hockey game or something that's on. You
I
know.
think they realized everybody just pulled out their phone when they wanted to do something.
Yeah,
Does
well,
the-
that's just
does
it.
the-
Yeah.
Does the Xbox One S still come with the HDMI in?
I believe so.
No idea.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Okay. Weird. Well, that'll be next to go.
Yeah, and another part of that update is a new mode they are calling Copilot mode, where you can basically assign 2 controllers to 1 input. So the use case on this, for instance, would be to help your youngster play a game and not have to actually take the controller from them. You could just take over. You could just do whatever without actually taking the controller from them.
That is interesting, although feels like a solution for a problem that doesn't really exist.
Agreed.
I like the idea. I only have 1 Xbox One controller. So.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, what I'm curious to see how that works, because having the second controller, what is the child doing with the first controller while you've got control? I don't get it. Like,
Well, they
how
could-
how
they
does that
could
alleviate any
do
kind of?
something as well? It would just be they're registering the inputs as 1
That sounds
from
confusing.
1 controller. Yeah,
I just
I guess
figured
we'll
it
have to see.
makes it like the kids at the arcade pretending to play the game without putting
Oh,
a quarter
see.
in.
That's
Now,
right.
Benjamin Rivers in our chat brings up a really good point. The Copilot is also an accessibility option for players with mobility issues. Now that makes way more sense.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
makes
that
sense.
does.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Nintendo news, because we haven't talked about Nintendo enough in this
Oh,
podcast
God.
yet. There is a new 3DS XL coming in February, end of
That somebody
February,
has to buy.
with Pikachu, with a super cute drawing of Pikachu on the top cover. It's
you'll
all
buy it.
yellow. So I'm not going to buy this because it's like a week before the Switch comes out. There's no way.
Yo,
But if it
I'm passing
wasn't-
it as well.
If it wasn't a week before the Switch came out, you'd be buying it, right? Let's be honest.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we're never going to have to find out about that future because it's not
I don't
happening.
feel like that's true.
There will be a time
Yep.
when you have a little extra money in your pocket,
Yep.
and you'll be at Target or something, and there it'll be,
Nope.
and
Nope.
you'll go, oh well,
Nope.
I could use a little. It's a cute drawing. It's a cute
Mhm.
drawing of Pikachu.
Not going to do it.
I think I'll
Not
pick that
going
up.
to do it.
I think I'll pick that up.
Not happening. Sorry. No.
Then you'll head over
Sorry
to
to
the
disappoint.
DVD section, and there will be Cat in the Hat
I'll pick that
on
right up.
DVD. And you'll say, oh, you know what? I don't think Shane's going to find out about this now.
Exactly. Well, now people have tweeted to Shane that I was talking about the Cat in the Hat bet. on
He
the
doesn't
show.
check Twitter.
People ruined it. I even cut it out of the show, out of the audio version last week.
Did you really?
People ruined it. Yeah, I did.
Look how afraid
Oh, so
of
They
him.
missed all
So
of our
I-
Sweet Nine Lives talk.
oh man, that's all gone. I only watched the YouTube recap, so I didn't actually hear it. Did you cut all of that wonderful talk about Christopher Walken and Kevin Spacey?
Yes, cut it off.
Oh,
All gone.
you cats. Kevin Spacey, the cats.
So, in other
Yeah.
Xbox One news,
Uh-huh.
Eurogamer published some information on the Xbox Scorpio taken from, I guess, a white paper.
You're
That,
doing a terrible job segueing this week, by the way.
I
We
know,
went
aren't
from
I?
Nintendo to Xbox to Nintendo, and now back to Xbox.
And now we're staying on Xbox for
This
a while.
is- Yeah.
This is what happens when I put the notes together like 5 minutes before we start
Yeah,
recording.
yeah.
Yeah. But Eurogamer, anyway, talked about some Scorpio information. I guess the SRAM in the Scorpio is going to be gone, and
SRAM.
SRAM. And there's some GPU info in there, but I didn't actually read any of that stuff because, I don't care about 4K.
There we go.
Don't care.
There it is.
And I actually think, I think Sony had difficulty marketing the PS4 Pro and actually showing like what was different about it.
Well,
I think Microsoft's going to run into a similar problem with the Scorpio whenever that's released, whether it's this fall or later. They're just going to have a difficult time demonstrating the difference.
Sure, okay.
What do you think?
I think we should move on to what you've been playing.
Well, in other Scorpio news then, Phil Spencer tweeted, he posted a tweet late last week, and here's the quote: "Great day, Scorpio update with team. Played my first games on early Scorpio unit. Games played great. Console looked right. Proud of the team." So,
okay.
So there you have it.
And here's where I feel like I've changed as a gamer is that there would be a time in which I would be super, super excited about the Scorpio, but I just since I don't have a 4K TV, I'm not that excited about it, especially since I'm just totally, totally satisfied with the quality of the PS4 and Xbox One games right now. I mean, it's always nicer to have something better, but I wouldn't be running out to buy that, and I am still surprised at how apathetic I was towards the PS4 Pro.
Well, also the PS4 Pro is ugly.
Yeah.
If it looked as good as the standard PS4 or even the slim model, I don't think that would have been. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't have bought one anyway because I don't have a 4K TV and really can't take advantage of what the system is offering. And yeah, I feel the same about the Scorpio. I don't have a 4K TV. I really have no plans to invest in a 4K television at this point. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like that no matter what their marketing is, it's probably not going to be targeted at me unless.
Well, and remember, how different it is.
They still have said that they are not doing Scorpio specific games, right? So anything playable on Scorpio is going to be playable on Xbox One. So I don't feel like I would be missing out on any of the experiences.
Yeah, and that also takes away from some of the excitement of getting it too. But remember when we were all moving up to the Xbox 360 and there was kind of a scramble in our community to get HD TVs. I got a huge bulky CRT that I was excited. Phil and what a high price board who has jumped into 4K, and even he did it just because he had to replace an old TV. It wasn't something that he was excited to do and needed to upgrade for the new systems.
Right, and Hacker Alias Indie aka Rex in the chat says the big news about the Eurogamer article wasn't SRAM as much as it was Microsoft backing away from native 4K and high fidelity VR.
Interesting.
So the tech seems to essentially be a slightly better PS4, which is, I mean, meh. It's going to be expensive talk got to Microsoft, it seems. So, yeah, I guess we'll see. I think they're going to struggle.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is they've put themselves in a tough spot when they've said that basically it's all part of the Xbox One family. That does limit what you can do with the games because they can only kind of look prettier. They can't be a paradigm shift or anything like that.
Sure. All right.
I agree.
Sure.
All right. I think that means we're into what we've been playing. I think that means we're into what you've been playing. All right. Let's start with Greg.
Hi.
Hello.
I finished Lego Dimensions this week.
Did you really?
Yes,
Hey.
Main story mode.
the main story mode.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so that was pretty neat. The ending was kind of cool. Actually, I don't know.
because I just started Lego Dimensions.
I don't want to.
This week.
I won't spoil anything, but the ending was a send up of. You'll love it.
Okay.
All I gotta say is you'll love it.
I gotta sit down and really just plow through that game.
Yeah, I mean, it took a long time. I'm telling you, man, I know that, like, Toys to Life, and it's asking you to spend a whole bunch of extra money, but I gotta say, Lego Dimensions, especially when they patched it so that you can just rent
Right.
characters with different abilities, man, you can't go wrong with that game. There is a ton of content in that game.
Yeah.
It's a nice, long, very unique, even for a Lego game. Like, the gameplay is exactly what you would get out of a Lego game, but all these different worlds that you get to access there, and you don't need the specific toys to access at least the taste of every different world that they have, and the different licenses they've got in there. I mean, I hadn't played it in a little while, and I actually finished it over the Extra Life stream team stream on Friday night, because I was so close to the end anyway. And it's sort of, I'd kind of, because it's taken so long for me to play through it, I kind of forgotten just how many different licenses they had in that game.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, like you're watching the credits, and it's like, you're seeing like the music credits, and it's like, oh yeah, right, Back in Time by Huey Lewis and the News, that was in this game, and Ghostbusters, and Midway Arcade, like so many cool things. And the thing is too, is that the end of the game, the final boss is kind of like a victory lap, where you see appearances from all the different licensed characters in different points. So yeah, really, really highly recommend that game. You do not need to go buy the extra packs, but if you do, again, for the most part, those extra packs do unlock the level packs. Again, unlock a ton of content.
Yeah.
You really can't go wrong. I'm not a Toys to Life guy, and I have no complaints about Lego Dimensions.
Yeah. Well, these days there's so many sales on the Toys to Life stuff too.
Yeah, very true.
So it's almost difficult to pay full price for a Lego Dimensions set at this point.
Now, I believe there's still a couple sets to come out this spring, right?
There are. Well, what is it? There's a couple come out in about a week and a half. I think on February 10th.
Oh wow. Okay.
We're getting the new story pack for the Lego Batman movie, because that comes out that day.
Oh yeah, I'll be all over that.
Oh, that's going to be nice. Yeah.
Because the Lego Batman movie comes out in theaters that day, so they're releasing the Lego Dimensions story pack for it. And I think that's also the day the fun pack for Knight Rider comes out.
All over that as well.
Oh, cool.
Which, at least in the US, is a GameStop exclusive. So
I will have to look into that, because I totally bought the Mr. T pack.
Oh yeah.
Just, I mean, to have Mr. T, obviously, but it came with the A-Team van.
Yep. Yeah, this one, of course,
So
comes
cool.
with little Michael Knight minifigure and obviously
And Kit.
Kit.
Yeah,
And
so,
Kit, of course. So
yeah.
And
then,
is it Hasselhoff Knight Rider, or is it like new Knight Rider?
No, it's Hasselhoff Knight Rider. It's the one people care.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
Okay.
the A-Team pack was not, Liam Neeson and whoever else was in that movie. But But yeah, I mean, there's a whole new wave coming out sometime later this spring with a bunch of licenses that have not even been in the game so far. You got
So
Goonies and Beetlejuice and
right, I forgot about
Teen
Goonies.
Titans Go and
Business in terms of choosing just the right licenses too.
yeah.
Well, that's just it. I mean, you're playing through it, and it's like they're just so wildly different. Like I said, you've got Midway Arcade, which is literally like Lego versions of classic arcade games in one section. Another section, you're going down the Yellow Brick Road in Oz.
Right.
Mhm.
And then you're in Back to the Future, and then you're in like The Simpsons, and it's just so cool.
I mean, what's crazy about it is it's a great product for kids. Those packs are clearly targeting guys in their 40s, which is amazing.
Absolutely.
Well, there's actually a decent balance though between
you got like Adventure Time and
and
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and they had the new Harry Potter stuff.
yeah, I mean they know
Ninjago.
they know how to appeal to both the kids and the adults who are buying it for the kids. So
Yeah.
it's actually a pretty
Yeah.
smart way to go about doing it.
And I mean, on top of all that,
It is.
again, going back to the whole Toys to Life thing, one of the things that Warner Brothers and Lego have done really well here is they've kept breathing life into that game. That, you know, like we haven't heard about the entirely new sequel that you have to buy or anything. They've actually, you know, with the Ghostbusters set and the Fantastic Beasts set, you know, those are whole new games.
For real,
basically.
that type of thing, like Rock Band as well. Those are the types of games as a service I can totally get behind. That's
totally
very
a platform.
Yeah.
Lego Dimensions is a platform, basically. So.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, finally finished it, and it was great. Yeah.
I think I got stuck in the same place that you did because I put the disc in. Of course, it had to download the 11 gig patch. So I couldn't actually start it, but so I started it up without the patch and built the portal, no problem. And it got to the point where it wants you to build the Batmobile, and nothing came up.
Really?
Nothing came up. No,
that's weird.
Anything.
That's really weird.
Apparently, it was a common bug with the first version of the game where some people just wouldn't get it and they'd have to restart. So I waited for the patch to download after that point.
I think we bumped into that ourselves, honestly. Now, unfortunately, we can't play the game because my son lost the Wild Style stand. And you lose that one little piece, and it breaks the game.
Yeah, the three characters that come with. Well, I shouldn't say you don't need her. The way you can fix that is to go out and buy. No, you go out and buy like a Benny. You buy another Master Builder type character, and you would have her abilities.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good solution then.
That's how the game works. Basically, is like every character's kind of in a classification.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you know, you'll go. Yeah, like all of the Ninjago characters have the same sort of ability. Like you look at, I mean, they vary a little bit, but then you look at like one of the packs that I bought recently was the Harry Potter pack and then Voldemort, and he's pretty much a mirror of Gandalf. He has some different abilities, but he has generally the same abilities. So
right.
What, Ethan?
Yes.
I bet I'm looking at Bricklink, which is a website where you can order Lego pieces, and you can buy a replacement one for like 75 cents.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Plus,
I thought you were
shipping,
going to say bucks in that sense.
Okay. No.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's definitely something I should look into. Frankly, again, I would have been much happier if they had brought Dimensions over launch day to Switch instead of Skylanders Imaginators. But I'm sure
that would have been hard to do, though, because I think you pretty much need that portal for some of the gameplay.
Yeah,
you're right.
The gameplay is completely tied to building that portal, right? So, which is one of the things I love about it.
It's tied to that, and then there's the whole color matching thing, which, by the way, so my daughter got really into basically
that can be a little rough.
Taking figures on and off and switching characters and running through the paint. And when we got to the color matching section, it got really frustrating to coordinate that because she was not sticking with one character.
Yeah,
were you like begging your wife to like let you play games without your kid at that point? You're like, can I just play with? Can you like you go somewhere else for a while?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is why I haven't beaten the game yet, just because Finn, with these Toys to Life games, are more interested than just swapping out characters than actually making progress.
Yeah.
Like I've because he got the new Skylanders game for Christmas, and I believe he's actually played through it by this point. I think he went through and got to the final boss, but I've tried playing it with him sometimes, and he'll have me controlling the character, and I'm trying to get past a puzzle or something, and he'll just, oh wait, Daddy, let me put this new guy on, and I'm just no, I'm right at the and then he yanks the guy off the controller. I'm just, come on, Finn.
I have had the game glitch up where my daughter has been like taking characters on and off the portal and switching, and like right when a cutscene triggers.
Oh yeah,
that has locked the game up once so far.
Oh man,
you guys just played that game wrong. Anyway,
yeah, I like it though, especially because unlike Disney Infinity, which I feel,
which I warned you about.
isn't as good for youngsters because it really requires you to both be like in sync and doing all the platforming and fairly difficult platforming as well. Lego Dimensions really, if you're like me where you're really the only one playing the goals of the game, and my daughter is flying around as Supergirl somewhere else entirely, you can still make progress.
Even the puzzles that require multiple characters, the way that game is set up, you can easily handle that yourself while your kid just goes and does whatever they want.
Exactly.
I still got to say, to my taste, the most elegant way that's ever been handled is the Super Mario 3D World, where the character just bubbles up.
There is that.
Essentially, this works the same way, really.
Essentially, yeah. This is that without making them feel like they've been skipped or whatnot. It just skips to the next cutscene. So,
okay, that
I
makes
like
sense.
this. I like this version of that better.
Yeah.
And so the other game that I played, and I've only played a little bit of this, but I know Ethan will be able to speak to this a lot more. Today, I actually just played some Resident Evil.
All right,
yay! In PSVR, and I gotta say, and like I said, Ethan, you've played way more of this than I have. I played it for about 40 minutes.
We're not too far off.
Yeah, but I really was only sort of in the kitchen demo still, except that I played the sort of the prologue that leads into it. But yeah, so it's a free-roaming first-person game on VR, and I was a little concerned about that in general. I mean, I had played the demo, and if you remember when that demo was, what was it, E3 that people were playing that at? A lot of people complaining about getting sick.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, having played what was it called? Here They Lie. The Here They Lie demo on the demo disc.
Gosh.
Just made me feel so sick. Like I thought, well, okay, so first person games, not so much. But I don't know what they're doing here. There's a few things that I see that I tell you. Okay, so anyway, no problem. Like absolutely no problem. I never felt disoriented. Nothing.
It's the step system that they're using. So when you are turning with the right analog stick, it's not a smooth motion. It is a step, 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 step. So like if you want to look in to get you there, you have full motion. I mean, the faster way to do it, of course, is to physically turn around and look 90 degrees. But that's the difference. I mean, you know, it's making sure that it doesn't have too intense a vertical or horizontal motion when you are moving the camera.
Yeah, and I mean, the only thing that I found disorienting, but I don't want this to sound like I found it disorienting in like it makes me feel nauseous kind of way, is because having played so many first-person shooters with a controller, my brain keeps thinking that, you know, I can be walking forward and I can turn left or right, but I'll still keep moving in that direction because I haven't changed the direction I'm pressing. When in this game, no, your head is the forward direction of your controller. So if you're walking and you turn left, your character will turn left.
Yeah, that's true.
But again, it means that you don't feel disoriented. It took a while for my brain to sort of seize that at all, because years and years and years of playing Halo and Half-Life and, you know, all those games using a controller. But really, like I can't get over how not disoriented I get when I play this game, because it feels like it should. It really feels like it should. And I mean, there's tons of options in there too. Like Ethan was saying, the step system when you're turning left and right, that's set by default at 30 degrees, but you can change that. You can actually customize it a fair amount. So the one thing I will say is I had read that you had said, Ethan, on Facebook, that standing was the most comfortable way to play, which makes sense because you are walking most of the time in the game. But I'm going to say, I think from now on, I'm going to play seated.
Okay.
Not because it messes with my head, but because when the jump scares happen, I'm so afraid I'm going to trip on something because
Oh, sure.
I do jump, and I'm just like, yeah. So I think I'm gonna sit.
Well, and I get that, but actually, one of the reasons I recommend standing is not only does it feel more natural when you're actually walking through these environments, but it makes it much easier. That same effect, really immersive to be standing. The other thing, and this is what's so great about the game, is that since it has positional tracking, the PlayStation VR, when you are hiding from a character, and again, I'll avoid spoilers, but there's a character that is almost like the nemesis that is trying to find you sometimes, and your only option is to hide. And so you have to try to the shortcuts of the house, get around him without him finding you, and you will find yourself like hearing him down the hallway, and you peek around the corner, and you are physically peeking, and you can do that just with your head, and then when he turns, you can duck back so that he can't see you. And it's incredibly creepy, yeah. But I had such a great time with the opening of this game that I played the first hour and 10 minutes or so, and was really, really excited, went to bed, woke up in the morning, had a little time before I had to go to the office, and ended up playing that hour and 10 minutes a second time. First of all, because I had started by playing seated, and I wanted to go through the whole thing standing because I found that a lot more comfortable. But also just because it was so creepy and unsettling, and it felt so new. So I've played, as everyone knows, a ton of different VR experiences on everything from the HTC Vive to PSVR to Gear VR and Oculus, and this is by far the best VR experience I've ever had on any platform. It's really intense. It's beautiful. It shows what happens when you have a AAA budget and you can apply that to VR. And this game is not like those 3D movies that were not really made as 3D movies, but then were done, kind of in post, to work with 3D glasses. This is like, this was clearly made
to be a VR game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it feels like that. And so it's particularly incredible that people who are reviewing it and saying they're spending almost all of their time, like Polygon, playing the game just in 2D, and then they end up giving it a 9. That's amazing that the game can do that. But as a VR experience, it's unparalleled. It is less and much more Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it gets grime better than any game I've ever played. It is fetid. It is just rotting and disgusting. Everything.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. It is. So somebody's asking, hacker alias Rusty Spoon is asking about the drop in quality in VR. Thought the kitchen demo kind of looked like, crap. It looks like the kitchen demo. When you're playing it in VR, there is definitely a drop in quality in the graphics. It's a question of what you want out of it, right? For me, it looks good enough because of all the things Ethan's saying, basically. And I mean, the intensity of it is just so heightened because of the fact that you actually feel like you're in the world and like you're hearing the audio, and like I was constantly turning around. It's like, what the hell was that? Like, so yes, you are definitely getting a quality drop visually, but it's not terrible.
Well, the other thing also, and I've gotten into debates that have become arguments with people in the VR space about this, because people in VR are very precious about the idea of, how important the motion controllers are, right? And to begin with, there's a debate as to whether the Vive controllers or the Oculus Touch controllers are better. And here, this game comes in, it doesn't even support the Move controllers. It is just using the DualShock 4.
Thank God.
Right. And the thing is it's like, you don't have to worry about any teleport nonsense. You don't have to worry about any arm swinger stuff. It's just locomotion is based on moving the left analog stick, and that is fine. That is actually still the best solution, I think. And while, I guess it would be nice to be able to actually like swing your hands around, if you're in a fight. I'm still okay with the contextual R2 button popping up, and also I think the shooting feels really good when you are using your head to aim for headshots to actually move the reticule. So I mean, the old-fashioned way of controlling in a 3D space, to me, might actually be the solution everyone's overlooking.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, if this game is any indication, I think you might be right.
Yeah, I have heard
So
about this game. My question is, okay, this seems like a full-fledged AAA VR experience, which is fantastic. I think that's exactly what we need. What's the second? What's the next one?
Well, that's just it. I mean, and it's like Ethan said, that the wonderful thing about this game is that you don't have to play it in VR, which unfortunately seems like some of the best VR games we talk about are all like that.
Right.
But I mean, it's easier to justify that AAA budget when you're not splitting your market, right? So,
right.
I think that I think that this is a viable way forward for now.
Bear in mind, Kotaku this week had an article about people waiting in lines, queuing the way people used to in the United States when it sounded like there was going to be another Wii shipment. And this was for PSVR. PSVRs are hard to find in Japan, and people want them. And so that's interesting to me. And this is over near like Yodobashi Camera. So, that shows, at least in Japan, that there might be a bigger audience than we would have thought. And yeah, I mean, we need that second game. I'm still concerned because you look at the announced roadmap for PSVR games, and it is barren. Yep. And that's very disconcerting, because maybe, sure, we'll get some more indie games, but frankly, to CJ's point, we need AAA games. We need more than just Resident Evil 7. And what concerns me also is that I've read a lot of reviews where people have kind of said, yeah, I tried the VR for an hour and it wasn't so comfortable and I put it down. And I'm not criticizing that way, because here's the big challenge with VR is, as we've discussed before, it adds friction to the experience, right? Optimal experience, in my opinion, you need to be standing up. It's more intense. It's not relaxing. And so there's going to be a lot of people who just reject it because of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this is a good one. If you have a PSVR, you should get one. And if you have only an HTC Vive or an Oculus, now's officially the time to be jealous of the people that have the less expensive headset.
So is this not available in VR on Steam?
Nope.
Then? Not
for 1 year.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm sure Sony, paid quite a premium to ensure that this had it in there. But it is the VR experience on any platform, in my opinion, and I've played it all.
The other thing is that you hope they can take advantage of that exclusive with more content.
That's the thing.
Why pay for a 1 year exclusive if you're not going to have anything big to follow it up with? Anyway.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah,
we'll have to see. I mean, the telling thing is going to be E3.
I think they got to do something before then. I think GDC, I think, is going to be very telling. I don't know that Sony generally makes a whole lot of announcements at E3, but GDC. But GDC has a very large VR focus this year.
Yeah.
Similar to last year. I mean, last year, all the VR talks were crazy crowded. This year, VRDC is sold out, so you can't even get a pass into that now. So, it'd be a good time for them to announce that stuff at GDC.
So I'm going to be very interested when GDC comes up, and we should talk about it when it happens, what the tone of the conversation is for VR, because now you have lots and lots of developers that have released games that have sold a pittance because the market is so small. So to give you a sense, when we were here at PAX South, it was really wonderful to show so many people, because we showed the game to nearly 400 people over the course of 3 days. Most of them, overwhelmingly, had never played VR before.
Yeah.
And in many cases, since we were the first VR booth you passed, this was literally the first VR experience they ever had. And that's great. It's super cool. But the problem is, I counted, of the 400 people, 10 people we talked to who actually had the HTC Vive and could theoretically buy the game.
Right.
That's a challenge.
Yeah. Certainly.
So,
all right.
but again, it's. Oh, go ahead.
We done talking about Resident Evil?
I think so.
And that's all I've been playing.
Okay. Ethan, got anything for us?
Yes. Yeah, I do. And actually, so in addition to RE7, I picked up some games while I was out here at PAX. And in the evening times, I have been playing them. So I want to talk about them.
I bet I know what game you've been playing in the evening, alone in your hotel room.
So before I start with that, I was happy to finally see, and I ended up purchasing
I love this.
the amiibo that I couldn't find anywhere. So I got Little Mac.
Little Mac.
Yes.
Awesome.
Which is nice. And yeah. And then I have learned that you should never, ever question Kevin Larrabee's suggestions when it comes to obscure Vita games, because he turned me on to Steins Gate, and that's one of my favorites. And also, remember when he was going on and on about this game, Uppers?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It is awesome. It is unbelievable. He described it kind of like Streets of Rage, and that's a really good starting point, but it's so stylistic. It's so flamboyant. It's like a kind of a grasshopper manufacturer game, or like, it feels like No More Heroes, right? In terms of just like really over the top, uber Japanese animations and stuff. But it's a thrill to play this brawler where, you can swing on poles and hit people. You can run, along walls and jump and attack people. You can punch people up into helicopters, and the blades, knock their heads off, and then the helicopter falls. Man. I mean, it's really crazy, and it's beautiful too.
Is this Ethan? This game takes place on the set of the Twilight Zone movie. Is that
oh no!
What?
No, that's not okay.
What?
So now. And I saw John Gibson from I Am 8-Bit at the show, and I was telling him, look, you should look into localizing this game and distributing it out here, because it's great. But then I got a little deeper into the game, and I realized why it's not been localized for the US
here
market.
we go.
Yep.
There it is.
Let's hear it.
And so there is a slot mechanic that pops up while you're getting combos.
Oh, God.
And the slots are all different colored panties.
Ah.
And if you can match all the colors and you get all the same colored panties, a little mini game pops up where you have three girls, and the first two girls, the wind blows their skirts up. Girl, you have to tap a button really rapidly,
and then Ethan's little mini game pops up.
and it's like there's very limited context for this. I mean, the heroes in the game, they have girls fawning over them as they're beating up all the bad guys, and that actually scores you points. But I mean, it's just it's so Japanese. And this particular piece, it would be something that would have to be so heavily doctored for American release, because it's such a central part of the scoring system. And it just it surprised me that it was so blunt. And whenever you get new clothes for your girls that are now following you, they show a kind of saucy video of them in provocative poses wearing it, and it's like it's just strange because none of it is necessary. I'm not criticizing or complaining. I'm just saying it's weirdly out of place. Where it is in place in the other work of art,
great transition
that I picked up. Yes, it is. Yeah, which is the fully English Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Venus.
Oh, thank God! So we should follow the story.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I'd be lost. It actually does recap the first two Dead or Alive Extremes, which was really helpful.
You need that continuity.
Remember when Ethan would go on about his physical Vita collection as this is something he could pass on to the kids?
Yep.
When he's older, and this is so. I'm looking forward to the day when Ethan, 93 years old on his deathbed.
But there are certain Vita games that are getting buried with Ethan. Let's be honest.
Tells his adult daughter, "I'd like you to take my copy of Dead or Alive Extreme 3 and enjoy it as I did, my dear. Live like I lived." to the fullest.
So she opens it and sees that it's got 7,000 hours logged. Dear God.
So it's
This is
I'll
your.
say
This
this
is your.
much,
You know what this is, Ethan? This is your legacy.
what?
This is your legacy.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Go ahead.
Good, because it's art and it deserves to be appreciated.
Art.
It's art.
And yes. So no, it's I'll say the game looks great. I mean, so did Dead or Alive 5, right?
They always
these
have.
guys. Yep, they know how to make a pretty game and make things run smoothly on Vita. It's terrible, of course. There's no skill involved, and about as much real gameplay as you get is the casino games at night. When you're doing blackjack and stuff like that. It's silly, and it's something that I've spent maybe 45 minutes playing, and maybe I'll spend another 45. But I don't
5
think I'll
minutes
be
at a
playing
time.
it. Oh goodness.
I
don't think I'll be playing it at length, but
So I
it's
really
fun to have.
single hand play mode.
I really liked the Xbox, the original game. I thought that was great, and
Yeah,
I have not played any of the
But
games.
it was great in that like it's a technically impressive game, and what the hell are we doing here? Like it's great in that oddity
Yeah.
kind of way.
Sure.
Yeah.
and that's exactly that, because actually this game looks significantly better than that original Xbox game. I mean, it's super polished, right? You can see the the suntan oil. So
Polished,
I mean-
smooth. Completely smooth.
yeah, but
Oh, God.
yeah, but the thing is again, it's just a bunch of silly mini games, which are many of the same ones that were in that original Xbox One. But it's a curiosity, it's a fun thing to have in the collection, and it's not something I'll be playing on the plane when I go back.
Why not?
Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Yeah, why not?
RE7.
Why wouldn't you?
Explain it. As you
It's
would
not,
have.
it's not like it's a pornographic game. Would you watch episodes of Game of Thrones on a plane?
God no.
No, I would not.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen people doing that.
Yeah, it would just it would seem a little juvenile, and I suppose it was juvenile to buy it. But in the comfort of my own podcast here, I'm happy saying that I bought it and it's fun and it's art.
Wow.
There you go.
I love you keep saying it's art.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's art.
games
Roger
are.
Ebert. It's art.
Now, if only he
Yep.
had seen
Oh,
this.
and showing
There it is.
the
That's what I
viewership and saying to the listeners, it does have clearly marked in red 18 plus. So
Oh.
there you go.
Nice.
That refers, of course, to all the characters
Girls.
in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got 18.
Yeah.
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 Oh, and
they're aged
also-
18 plus.
I
the
did not
players.
get the $129.99 collector's version, which
Do I
wanna
know?
comes with a whole bunch of stuff. No, I just got the basic game for $69.99.
I get it.
Yeah, that
Same
was the
price
cost.
as a
I actually,
Switch Pro controller.
You paid $70 for that.
Yeah. I did.
Ugh.
Yeah, I asked it. I said, I'll take this for $59.99, and the guy just said no, and that was the end of the debate. And I walked away, and then I did end up coming back and picking it up. So yeah.
When you walked away the
There you
first
have
time, did he shout after you? You'll be back. They always come
No,
back.
he was beyond indifferent. And no, I'll tell you one thing. Like one of the reasons, 2 of the 3 days at the show, I also just wanted to buy something. Was it was kind of I need a dopamine hit for like again when these shows go on. It's really fun to show stuff to new players, but being in that same small square, for 8 hours a day, like really, really draining. I mean, you guys remember like the E3 days, right? Of standing at a booth and stuff. So,
Sure.
yeah. Needed to treat myself a little bit every day, but yeah, it was fun. So that's what I've been playing.
There it is. Nice.
All right, Phil, what do you
Yes.
got for us?
I picked up the hot new PS4 release this week, Yakuza 0 from the good folks at Sega.
Oh,
What do
the
you
good
think about
folks
that,
at
Ethan?
Sega gave me a code, and I haven't started playing it yet, but I can't wait
Oh.
when I get home.
You should. I got the physical day one business launch edition, so I get my Yakuza themed business card holder right here.
That
Which-
is cool.
which is very cool, and it comes with a business card for Kazuma Kiryu right there. So
Nice.
I
Oh,
have
that is cool.
I have that, and it comes
That
with
is cool.
Goro Majima's business card as well. Again, double-sided.
That is
And
cool. Yeah,
the big regret for Ethan is it comes with a hostess card as well.
Dun dun.
Very
nice.
So you won't get that with your all digital version, I'm afraid.
No, won't get that. But my friend who is producing it, localizing it over here, said that it's by far the best Yakuza yet. So he was super happy about it.
I'm only about an hour or so into it. To be honest, I'm still kind of going through some tutorial stuff because I don't want to play it with my son around, so I have to wait.
Yeah.
He's in bed for that. But boy, it's a great game. I mean, I enjoy the Yakuza series, but this is it is. I'm really enjoying it. Just a really pretty game. Really just fun kind of a sense of exploring Tokyo, which is, as someone who's been there a couple times, is a neat little thing to see. And just really some fun combat, a lot of good fighting, being able to pick up just about all these different items in the environment and smack drunkards around with them is fantastic. And the game's got a really nice sense of humor to it as well, which I think is what causes me to be more interested in this than, say, like the Grand Theft Auto series. It's just I enjoyed
that
this.
makes sense.
Oh, go ahead.
That makes sense. And really, the thing is this is in many ways the evolution of Shenmue, but like I can almost assure you that Yakuza 0 is going to be so much more polished and more fun than Shenmue 3 ultimately is.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's happening with Shenmue 3? It's been a little while.
It's moving along.
Yeah. Okay.
But the Yakuza games are fun. So that kind of puts them in a different class than the Shenmue games. So but I'm having a blast with it and really looking
I like how that joke fell completely flat with
Oh no, there was no joke.
Oh, okay.
It's not there's no joke involved there.
Right.
It's just there's stone cold facts,
I see.
One of those games allows you to go into a sock drawer and explore it for a while. The other game allows you to go to a karaoke bar and start singing karaoke, and suddenly you are transformed away from the dingy karaoke bar into a stage where you are a rock star singing about breaking the law and being a manly man. So
You're making Greg cry. Come on.
yeah.
I stopped listening 5 minutes ago.
Stuart's like, remember all that stuff about how me and Phil get along?
Oh, how
That's
times have changed.
That special connection we have has been severed, I'm afraid. But it's a really fun game. So, and now it's killing me because it's like I want to play that and I want to play Gravity Rush 2, and I'm
yeah, that's
now.
tough. And I'm adding Resident Evil 7 and Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Venus to that list. It's tough.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's how do you even prioritize?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah. I didn't pick up Resident Evil or Yakuza because our PS4 is in the family room and there is almost no time that I'm there where my daughter is not also there. So I wouldn't get to play them immediately anyway, so I may as well wait.
Just a cranky old man thing for a second here. I was trying to play a good bit of Gravity Rush 2 on remote play, but for whatever reason, I'm having these weird connection issues, and it's just not working smoothly, and that is very, very frustrating. That it's not a reliable experience.
That's a big issue with remote play. I mean, remote play is a fantastic idea that may not work 50% of the time. So it kind of becomes useless at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right.
And I've been playing my NES Classic some more.
Yeah. So what's going on with this?
They hacked it yet again. The latest version of Hack Chi 2 has come out, and oh boy, we're nearing, as I mentioned in our show notes, we're nearing the logical conclusion of the NES Classic,
which is every single game on the thing.
Pax. Yeah, it's this little box right here. And then, I forgot to mention last week, the hack now includes support for Game Genie codes.
Of course it does.
Oh,
So you can
Great.
type in.
but does it have the real front end for the Game Genie, the old school
No,
game?
it does not. It does not.
Pixelized. Oh,
You
well,
gotta love that they can't close it out. Yeah, I mean, maybe on future versions of the device, but like ones that are out in the wild, they can never fix that with a firmware patch.
sure.
Yeah. Nope. But the you can type in your Game Genie codes, and it'll just, when you put the game on the system, it'll have those codes patched right in for your
Nice.
infinite health or whatever it is you want to do. But the latest version of the patch supports upwards of 600 games.
All right.
which is very near the entire US library, which
Okay.
was, I believe, 700 something. It breaks them up into folders now.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So and you can actually set within the program how many games you want per folder. They suggest that you keep it around 30 to 35. So I just have 30 games per folder, which still lets you have the little nice thumbnail images down at the bottom of the screen that you can cycle through.
I know these are very small file games relative to what's out now, but it
Very
still surprises me but it still surprises me that the storage was set up so that it could facilitate that many.
Yeah, well, from what I understand, I guess this thing's got about 512 megs.
I'll bet you that it was actually cheaper to have it with 512 than with less memory.
Oh, probably.
Oh, that may be.
Yeah,
that's
probably.
probably
Yeah.
true.
Probably. I mean, memory is so cheap these days.
Yeah, it
And-
might have been more of a special order thing if it was a
Right.
smaller memory amount.
Yeah. And NES games are very, very tiny.
Yeah.
They are very tiny. So, and not only is it supporting about 600 games, but you do not lose any save state space.
That's pretty perfect.
That's amazing.
So all
Yeah.
600 games have support for all 4 save slots. And yeah, it automatically breaks it up into folders.
That's really nice, because I mentioned last week that I have the Retro AVS and I have the EverDrive, which is fantastic, which means I can play whatever I want. But there's something to be said for having an emulator box also that has a nice front end for all that stuff.
Well, that's
Sure.
just it too. It even with the folders, it works really well. The folders automatically, again, it sets up to how many games you have on the device and how many you select to have per folder. And then what it does is it gives you, each of the folders are named kind of like the pages on a dictionary, the guide words at the top of a dictionary. So it'll tell you what alphabetically the first game is and the last game in that folder is.
Okay.
And then you go into the folders, and then you have and then it just looks like the regular front end where you have your 30 games that you cycle through, and you have the box art for all of them, and the single player or multiplayer signifiers for them, and
Cool.
Nice.
and then there's a little icon to back out to the folder. So yeah, that's what it
I
is.
might
So-
have to update mine.
I'm coming over to your house soon. And actually, Greg, if it's possible during GDC for you to get your system modded by Phil, you should think about that. Unless you are brave enough to do all this stuff yourself.
Oh, I'm not worried about doing it myself. It's just a software mod. It doesn't seem like it's be very difficult.
No, it's actually surprisingly easy to do, especially with this the Hackshi 2 program. But Ethan, if you want me to mod yours for you, it's
Only charge $200.
yeah, it's surprisingly cheap.
Okay. All right.
So-
Sounds good.
Yeah, swing over to my place, and we'll take the 5 minutes it needs to do it and be done with it. So
Okay. Yeah, that would be awesome. And then I can have my very own copy of Lethal Weapon, which will be great.
as well. You should.
Amen.
Hey,
That's what this thing is all about.
Kevin Larrabee, please, if you are listening to this, can you please do a back in my play? on
Why
Lethal
would he
Weapon?
do that?
Why?
Well,
No. Nobody has good memories of Lethal Weapon.
Well,
it was Eurocom, man.
No.
You know?
No.
Ethan. That's Ethan's go-to
Electronic fun for everyone.
terrible NES game that has no reason to exist.
Eurocom, hey,
Nice.
Eurocom made the Hercules game on PS1 that we were talking about last
Oh,
week.
did they?
Yep.
Nice.
Hmm.
Oh man,
Alrighty. Is that all you got there, Phil?
that's all I've been playing. You know what? I also my wife's birthday was this past weekend, and I picked up a copy of Dragon Quest VIII for her 3DS. So,
Aw.
yeah,
I
so-
assume she'd played through that before, though, right?
she has not actually. She
Really? That is
Okay.
surprising.
We played a little bit of it on PS2 back in the day, but we never got all the way through it.
Okay.
So now that she has it portable, she's been playing a fair amount of it. So
Well, and I thought I might crack this open during my trip and subsequently brought it, but it remains in its cellophane, which is Dragon Quest VII.
yes,
So
Yeah.
there you
Eight's
go.
a better game.
still need
Yeah, 8 is really
Yeah.
good.
It is a really good game. Yeah, and I've only really been playing Lego Dimensions, so
Yeah.
we can skip right along.
Did you just get Lego Dimensions, CJ?
So I picked it up during Black Friday. It was
Oh,
like
okay.
$39 or something with the Supergirl
Right.
minifig. So yeah, I picked it up then and just hadn't opened it yet. Wasn't sure what we're gonna do with it. I had ordered it with the Gremlins set because, as I think I mentioned on the show,
Because it's Gremlins.
my
Yeah.
daughter was suddenly like really into Gremlins, and
No, you know what?
After-
I laugh. I laugh just because I was messing around again with the NES Classic the other day.
yeah,
And Finn loves watching me play the old games.
yep,
And I was flipping through one of the folders, and the Gremlins 2 game came up. And of course, he saw that and was immediately like, "Ooh, what's that? Got a cool looking monster on the front of it." So
sure does.
I had to go and I loaded up, and I'm explaining what Gremlins is to him, and he is fascinated by it. And he was actually really getting into the NES Gremlins game.
Wow. Okay.
Nice.
Which
Hmm.
and it was funny too. It's a pretty good game. It's Sunsoft.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sunsoft typically
That was
makes
a good game.
quality stuff, and it is a good game. He this kind of took me by surprise. He pointed out how good the music was,
Huh.
which
Well, also was a bit of a Sunsoft thing back in the day. There was a long
yeah.
stretch there where the music in Sunsoft games was generally really good.
really good. It's true.
The Batman music
Yeah.
was really good. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Well, go ahead, CJ. So you get the
So-
Gremlins set.
Yeah, I had on Black Friday on Black Friday I ordered the Lego Dimensions starter kit for PS4 and the Gremlins add-on pack
Yeah.
or whatever it is. And Lego Dimensions showed up 2 weeks after Black Friday. The Gremlins pack has still not shown up.
Really?
And the delivery date on there is TBD. Like they don't have a delivery date
Weird.
Where did you order it from?
from Amazon.
Really?
Yeah,
You
and
can
sold
get it at
by
GameStop.
Amazon. It was like it was something like $7 or something. It was cheap, super cheap.
Oh wow.
But they don't have a ship date for me, so I'm just waiting on that.
Really weird. I know Toys R Us is having a sale this week on Lego Dimension stuff. It's buy one get one 40% off.
Huh?
So
I might have to check that out. I don't know.
if you you won't, but just I'm letting you know.
I don't have a Toys R Us near me anymore. Actually, they
Oh,
all
really?
closed.
Oh,
So-
gee.
Yeah, if I want to go to a Toys R
That's
Us,
a
it's
bummer.
really like best done on a weekend because
Wow.
I have to go through a lot of traffic to get to the one that is around in Atlanta.
Oh
Still.
man.
Yeah.
You know what's weird is I just went to Amazon.
Yeah.
And I looked at the Gremlins pack, and they actually don't have it in stock.
They don't. Yeah.
It's only being sold by the third parties.
Yep. I've
that's-
checked that myself just in case I had to like bitch
Really
them
weird.
out or something.
Because it's regularly available, like at Toys R Us and Target
yeah.
and stuff like that. I've seen it.
I've seen it a lot of places. Yeah.
Really, really weird.
Is there a Lego Phoebe Cates then?
There's no Lego Zach Galligan, so
No.
you're only getting the
Just the
Gizmo and
Gremlins.
Stripe.
Yeah.
So
That's a shame.
Indeed.
I would actually love a Lego Zach Galligan. That would be, I think, important.
how about a Lego Mr. Futterman?
That'd be great.
Yes, it would.
Definitely.
Yep.
All right. Should we get to some tweets and
Let's tweet it up.
close this thing out?
Tweet it up.
All right, let's do this one from hacker alias Claudio B03, who says, the last Wii U game is Zelda this March. When will we see the last 3DS game? So I think this is the last Wii U game from Nintendo, because I'm not sure. There may be third-party stuff
There will be
after
plenty
that.
Wii U games after that, I'm sure.
And
Yeah.
I think that 3DS is going to go for quite a long time. I mean, we're not even close to the end of Vita. Vita's getting Valkyria Chronicles and stuff like that.
Here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about
Japanese
we're not close to the end of Vita. I mean, come on. What was the last game Sony released for that thing? That was really the end of
No. Oh, no doubt. But what he's talking about is like literally the last release ever for the Wii U is Zelda, right? There are no more
From
games, as far
Nintendo.
as I understand. From any
There will probably
company.
be other releases.
You think?
Right?
Okay. I'm not sure about that.
All right. Well, I take this to mean, when are we going to see Nintendo's last games?
Okay.
2018 sometime.
Yeah, I could see
Yeah.
2018 for 3DS, or even 2019, because
Yeah, well,
the system really, I think, outpaced what they thought it was going to do in 2017, and probably will, or sorry, 2016, and probably will do the same in 2017, at least for a good while.
So
Yeah.
so my bet is that we'll see the last printed game on Vita probably end of 2018, and the last printed 3DS in 2019 or early 2020. And again, that's for all publishers, not just Nintendo.
I don't even want to say Vita, because it seems to me people who are into Vita are so crazy into Vita that we might see
No.
indie
No.
games. Yeah, I don't know anyone who's crazy into Vita. I think we might see games from limited run or like boutique publishers on Vita.
Look at it this way: you can.
through-
There are still new games being published for the Genesis, Dreamcast.
Yeah,
Dreamcast.
that's true.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason why you've not seen the last
Yeah.
of that.
Right. Though,
That's why I would
careful,
only go with
careful
first party.
qualifier of that. The careful qualifier of that is that when you're talking about like the Genesis stuff, that's not actually being manufactured by Sega, right? I think there's a difference,
I
and one
get
thing
it.
that
Right.
has
That's why.
Runs actually
That's why
really
I'm
concerned
saying
about
first
that.
party's last game is the real death of whatever system you're talking about. So,
And-
in,
and I'll
in
just-
the case of Wii U, yeah, that's Zelda this March. In the case of 3DS, I think that'll be early 2019 when we see Nintendo's last game for that. Maybe a Kirby game.
Okay, and last thing I'll say is I think the better definition is the last game that is published by the hardware manufacturer. Whether it's first party or third party. It's like once they've stopped pressing 3DS or Wii U.
Okay. Hacker alias Benjamin Rivers says, "Is there a region of the world in which you wish there were more games being developed?"
I mean, not necessarily any particular region that I want to see, but I mean, the more diversity, the better.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Always want to see something coming out of other areas of the world. We get a lot of games from the U.S. and Canada and Japan.
Yep.
More is better.
Yeah, I think Europe has a really great scene. The Witcher and Dishonored and all those games that have kind of come out of Europe in recent times that you wouldn't really expect. Yeah, more games from everywhere. Why not?
Yeah.
And released in the US would be good too.
Yes.
Any of those. Yeah. Anybody else got anything?
No.
for that?
Nope. Is that the end of tweets?
No.
Jeez, it was only two.
No.
My God.
Yeah, exactly.
Ethan's got to catch a plane.
I got some DOA Extreme to get back to,
Yeah,
folks.
really.
Come on.
Pause.
Oh no, I've been playing that while I've been listening to you guys, among other
Oh
things.
god.
That's been that thumping noise I've been hearing.
That's why the
Yeah.
pants came off.
Yahoo! All right, Hacker Alias, the famous Paul says, word was a while back that the Switch was being delayed to implement VR. Have any of you heard rumors of VR titles for Switch with a handy and possibly super cute Mario hat type of headwear for the console? Could Switch VR become a system seller? Will Nintendo allow third-party titles to experiment? Will it just be the ultimate Pornhub accessory?
Yes. Yes.
All of that.
With the hat. Let's go every time you load up the site.
I think it's been pointed out that the Joy-Con with the motion controls and the fact that that's so good gives the Switch a potential leg up on VR. But then again, you look at the Switch screen itself where it's 720p and the hardware that's included isn't going to be powerful enough to run satisfying VR games.
I think
sure.
you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, the concern I have is the same though as CJ's, where optimally they want, of course, 8K per eye, which we're still a long time away from there. But 720p is quite a drop from your standard Samsung phone that you'd use on a Gear VR, and that already looks kind of pixelated.
Kinda. Yeah, it looks really pixelated.
So I think that if it's a bad experience, and I think that screen is optimized for cost and using as a handheld, it's just not going to make much sense. I think that the quality will probably be too low. I don't doubt that they investigated it, and maybe it makes sense. Maybe if they use very simple normal shaded textures, but I don't know. I mean, I just I don't think that's likely.
Yeah, I don't think it's likely. More that Nintendo tried VR at one point with the Virtual Boy. I think any step they make to come back has to be really good, and I don't think we'll see them.
I think
try
that
that
you're
with
nuts to invoke the Virtual Boy in this situation. Personally,
You think?
that was 1995. That wasn't. It was.
You don't think
that was
anytime they
virtual
announce that,
reality in
the
the
headlines
loosest
will
sense of the
be.
term.
You don't think the initial
I'm not
stories
saying the
will mention
headlines
the
won't-
Virtual Boy.
I'm not saying the headlines won't be that, but I really don't think that'll make a difference. I really don't think there'll be sales lost because remember the last time Nintendo tried virtual reality? 20 years
Hey, if
ago?
they do it though, I'd love
Yeah.
to see. I'd love to see Virtual Boy finally make Virtual Console. That would
Hey,
be nice.
amen to that. I would be all over that.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah.
If I could play Waterworld again, holy cow!
Oh God. Right up there with Lethal Weapon. Let's do a back of my play on that.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess anything's possible. I don't see that happening, but we'll see.
Yeah, I can't imagine it, but
I guess the option is there, right?
I guess
if Nintendo wants to do it, they've got
Right.
the patents already. They're ready to go.
the way I look
VR
at it is I was so not expecting that I could have a VR experience with my phone at one point too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
that's
you're
true.
right. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be hard for them to do it. With the quality of the experience, who knows? But it wouldn't be hard for them to do it.
true.
Indeed. All right. Let's wrap up with this one from listener Cameron, who says, What are some of your favorite hidden gems or underappreciated games from older/retro consoles? Some of mine include Rocket Knight Adventures on the Genesis and Snowboard Kids on the N64.
Oh man, I hear so many people talking about
those are
Snowboard Kids.
both good.
yeah.
Yeah, Snowboard Kids is good.
I would say, talking about the Saturn, Decathlete and Winter Heat.
Both great games.
Definitely.
Two amazing games that not
Both
everybody
great games.
had heard of. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh dig on Saturn as well. Dragon Force and Shining Force 3. Those I absolutely love.
Yeah. What about Rocket Robot on Wheels from Sucker Punch? Their first game before
N64.
went off and did Sly Cooper for Sony. Yeah, the N64 game. When we got that in at EGM for review, I was like, "What the hell is this?" And loaded it up. I played hours of that game and really, really enjoyed it. I expected to only play a little bit of it and was hooked to it. So.
Oh, I have one actually. PlayStation 1, Infogrames, Bugs and Taz Time Busters, which I reviewed as a freelancer for EGM, and I gave it an 8.5 because it was awesome. It was a really good cooperative experience. And Shu, understandably, had to double check the review with one of you guys to make sure that I wasn't high, because it seemed like a strange one to give an 8.5 to.
Yeah.
But the review score stood. Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Sorry, go ahead, Phil.
Oh, I was gonna say for the NES, I have it on my little box here. Game called Metal Storm.
Yes,
From IREM. Which I've talked about on the show here and there before.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, can I what?
Can you say I have it in my little box?
No,
no, I can't.
I think for PlayStation 2, everyone on this show would agree. Gitaru Man.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That needs to come back. That really needs to come back.
Yes. Also, N64, the two Goemon games, Mystical Ninja starring Goemon and Goemon's Great Adventure.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah.
Victor Ireland's Bane.
Yeah. Oh
wait, no, I think it was PlayStation 2.
I think Victor Ireland's Bane would go a little something like this. Oh yes, enjoy Luna. Silver Star Story.
Enjoy these hilarious lines about the Clinton White House.
Seems to me that you EGM reviewers did not play my game to completion.
Oh God.
And Phil,
Perhaps
it's not as good as not your peripheral.
Oh yeah. Well, that's buried right now, so I can't get it. But I'm sorry, folks.
Yeah. What about Mole Mania on Game Boy? Come on.
Mole Mania. Excellent game.
Fantastic little game.
Actually, talking about Game Boy, Gargoyle's Quest was another one that I don't think a lot of people played.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
fantastic.
That's a good one. And sometimes you run across games like even now that will be these hidden gems. Like no one will talk about Tembo the Badass Elephant, except for a small handful of people who know how awesome it truly is.
That's a good game.
That was a great game. Yeah, I like that one.
Ethan, were you the producer on that game?
I had nothing to do with that game.
Okay,
no,
it was a Sega game at least. While Ethan worked at the company,
I was deeply enjoying making free-to-play mobile games at that time.
How about the Charlotte's Web for GBA?
I was involved in that. Yes, I was the producer on that.
I know. That's why I said it.
Proudly the producer on
Excellent.
that. Yeah.
I feel like we've wrung every last bit of good out of this tweet.
I feel like that's it. Yeah. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something that you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitter or go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information, blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward.
This latest one's taken a long time, but I will get it done soon.
Alrighty, Generation 16 episodes as well.
And that is pretty much happening exactly at the speed it always does.
Alrighty, and a message board where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by going to the iTunes Music Store. While you're at the iTunes Music Store, you can also invest $1.99.
Cheap.
Pick up the Player One Podcast iPhone application. Gives you one-touch communication with us via the emails, the Twitters, what have you. You also have all our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android cell phone, telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for your listening device as well for that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
You can find that right over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're also on Stitcher Radio. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch archives of our show and see us live most weeks on the youtubes.com/P1 podcast. And if you've liked what you've heard, and how could you can head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. It keeps CJ swimming in even more Switch pre-orders.
No, I'm keeping it at 2. That's the cap.
How many? Okay, that's your
Cap
spend
is
cap.
2.
Your
Yep.
spend cap.
Spend caps are important.
Ethan has an unlimited spend cap on Switches. We never know how much he's gonna do.
Switch?
Yeah.
What's
Hi, Finn.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Finn. How are you? My son just burst in.
Of course.
Yeah. Hold on, buddy. I'm finishing up my show.
He wants you to stop. Stop podcasting.
I'm trying to stop podcasting, buddy.
What do you need, buddy?
Huh?
Come on, Finn.
Finn's in here.
What do you need?
I'll tell you what he needs.
What?
He needs to get out of here for like one more minute.
Come on, buddy. Let's go.
Just one minute.
Just one more minute. I'm in the outro.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
And see, now I've lost it. I've
You've
lost
lost
the
it.
whole.
You were keeping me awash in Switch pre-orders.
Yeah. Ethan has no spend caps on those.
Yep.
Oh, and if you have a couple bucks left over, you can head over to generation-16.com, where you'll find the Patreon link to Greg Stewart's fantastic Generation 16 series, all about the world's favorite runner-up, unless you're in Brazil.
There you go.
Sega Genesis.
Thank you.
Genesis.
Check it out.
Another fantastic episode coming eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's good stuff, though. I do enjoy the Generation 16.
Thanks, man.
CJ,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Phil. I
Yeah.
sincerely thank you for thanking me.
Don't
for hosting.
patronize me.
I wanted to
don't
also
need-
shout out Mr. Chris Hoffman had me on the Power Pros podcast this week.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's right. Episode 79.
What was the topic?
We talked about best video game apocalypses, and we talked about Dragon Quest VIII. We talked about the Pikachu 3DS and Mario Sports Mix and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I will link to that in the show notes if people want to check out an awesome Nintendo podcast.
Yes, indeed. He
sure.
actually
That's great.
invited me on before you, but I was busy doing report cards that week.
No, I figured. I'm always
So-
the last resort. It's fine.
So just so you know where you stand.
I am every show's last resort as a guest. It's fine.
That's not true.
Aw.
That's not true. That's not true. Ethan clearly is. I mean, how many people did we ask?
Wait a minute.
How many
Wait
people
a
did we ask to be
minute.
the fourth chair and turned us down?
Nobody, actually.
Well, you were asking guys like Tim Cook and
Right.
what do you expect?
Yeah.
What does he have going on?
Nothing.
He has a lot of spare time. It's not like he's out there making the iPads. You know?
That's true. Slacker.
No. Seward,
Yo.
thank you, buddy boy.
Thank you, Phil.
There you go. And Ethan,
Yes, sir.
thank you for braving hotel Wi-Fi to be with us today.
Oh, thank you for putting up with it. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
great to be able to catch up while it's hot. So
That's right.
Yes. And you're heading back to the Bay Area tomorrow?
I am. Yep.
Okay. Airports permitting.
Exactly.
Excellent. Well, cool. Thank you so much. I guess next week.
Let's do it.
Do it
You got
again. Do it again.
Bye-bye.
Toodles.
Bye bye.